Hey guys, welcome back to Stuff Steve Likes. I appreciate you guys tuning in. This is a review that has been done probably about 20,000 times on YouTube. This is one of the most popular folding knives of all time, and for good reason, but if you are not a knife person, you probably don't know that, and so I'm going to do it anyway. It's not going to be a technical review or anything like that. It's just going to be a review on the knife and why I love it so much. But this is the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. There's the knife in all her glory. And there's the blade. I'm looking at the camera lens through the spider hole. A lot of people that aren't knife people are always like, why does your knife have a hole in the blade? This is why. Put your thumb in there, open it up, one-handed, just like that. Okay. Some knives have little studs on them or discs on them to open the blade, and that's good and all, but that means that it's one more thing to catch on your pocket, one more thing to break. With the spider hole, it's already built into the blade, and it also saves weight. So anyway, that's that on the spider hole. Since this is my first Spyderco review, one of many to come, I wanted to get that out of the way. So that's the spider hole. That is patented, has been copied many times, and everyone that has this on their knife has to pay a royalty to Spyderco. They developed that. They also developed this, the pocket clip. You may not know that, but this was not a very common thing on knives up until, I don't know, probably the 90s or so. And Spyderco was the one that developed the pocket clip. And you say, why a pocket clip? The reason is this. It's much easier. If your knife is all the way down in your pocket, you got to fish for it. With the pocket clip, it's right there. You draw the knife. Alright, so that's the pocket clip. Very nice pocket clip. And if you see, it can be attached in all four locations. Here, here, you can see the little holes, here, and here. So whether you're right-handed or left-handed, and whether you like to have the knife in your pocket, what we call tip up or tip down, this knife will do it. The other really unique thing about this knife is that it has an interesting lock on it. And this was also developed by Spyderco. This is called the compression lock. If you've seen a lot of knives before, in order to close the knife, a liner lock, you have to push a button over here and actuate that and then close the knife. But what's the problem with this? The problem with that is that your finger is in the way of the blade when it closes, and if you're not careful, you can close the blade on your finger. With the compression lock, it basically is a liner lock, but it's on this side of the blade, so when you close it, you just hit the button and give it a little snap and it closes just like that. So that's the compression lock, which I really love, and it's fun to play with. You just open it up, close it, and you never have to worry about your fingers being in the way. Alright, so that's the compression lock. The other thing that's really great about this knife is this big lanyard hole. You can fit paracord through it, a leather strap through it. I don't really do any kind of lanyards or anything on my knives, but it's there if you want it, and it's nice and large. Okay. The other thing I really like about this knife is this here. If you see how a lot of times when you see a knife in this area, it's got like part of the blade sticking up and it just kind of looks out of place, but how they did this one was they made everything seamless. When it comes up here, this piece goes into the G10 here and then up to the blade and over. It's just really smooth there. I don't know why, I really like that. The handle scales on this one are G10, and G10 is definitely a very nice material to make a knife out of. And the reason for that is, I don't know if you can see it, get up close here, but you can see it has all these little ridges. You can hear it. See, that's what G10 feels like in the hand. It has a really nice traction to it. High traction on this knife. And also on this knife, it has stainless steel liners that are milled out. So you have the G10, which is extremely strong, proven in many tests, and you also have steel liners, so much stronger than it needs to be. A very overbuilt knife. And when the blade closes, you can see how it's nice in the center like that, in between those scales. You get a lot of knives, especially cheaper knives, and the blade, when you close it, is on the side here or on this side, but this one centers perfectly. Alright. The steel on this is CPM S30V, which is a very high quality stainless steel. Now, when people say stainless steel, they think it's a good thing, but it's really not. Stainless steel is a good thing in that it doesn't rust, but as far as edge holding ability and just overall quality, a lot of times stainless steel is lower quality than like a high carbon steel. This is a high quality stainless steel, and they use what's called powder metallurgy, where instead of a standard forging process, they use powdered elements to make this steel, so it's very uniform, if that makes sense. They basically spray all the elements on a plate. It is hardened, and then they have a very homogeneous piece of steel. Okay, this is one of Spyderco's American-made blades. You can see there it says Golden, Colorado, USA Earth, which is kind of a cool little way to put your location where the blade is made on the knife blade. These two little stamps here are the makers. That's Sal Glesser and Eric Glesser's stamps. They are the owners of Spyderco, and they always put their little stamp on there when they design a blade. Getting down to the two best parts of this knife, one is the ergonomics of this knife, and look at that handle there, and just how you can just see how your hand fits right on there. Perfect fit, and there's plenty of room here. I don't have huge hands. I have semi-long fingers, but they're not super fat, so definitely a lot of room on here to get a grip, even for guys with longer fingers or fatter fingers. The other thing that's nice on this is this finger choil, and as you can see here, you can get a grip up here as well. So when you're doing really fine work on it, and I'll do a little cutting test here, when you're doing really fine work on it, you can, what I call, do choking up, where you can get right up on that, and you can see how you can do that really fine work there, just like that. Okay, and if you need more power, go back on the blade like this, and then you can do your more powerful cuts like that. Okay. The blade shape is very utilitarian. It's got a good belly to it, almost like kind of like a Bowie knife or a hunting knife, but you can see the top is very flat. Okay, so it's really easy to get control of, and man, it just cuts like a razor blade. I just touched this up on my Spyderco Sharp Maker, and it is hair shaving sharp. Let me see if I got any hair left here. Don't try this at home, but if you can see that at all, there's a bunch of hair that I shaved off on my arm. I'm sure my arms will be bald by the time I'm done with all these videos, but just hair shaving sharp. It's a full flat grind. Okay, what a full flat grind means is that the grind down to the edge starts at the top and goes all the way to the edge. So a hollow grind goes like this, a saber grind comes down and then to the angle. A full flat grind starts at the top and goes all the way down to the bottom. If you want to know what a full flat grind looks like, look at your kitchen knives. More than likely they are a full flat grind. The full flat grind is excellent for slicing, for food prep, just in general, anything that you want to cut where you don't want a lot of resistance when you cut. Now, a saber grind is a stronger grind because it comes down and then starts the edge, so the edge is thicker here. But a full flat grind, even though it's thinner and a little weaker, definitely shears through material a little bit easier. So that's a full flat grind with that S30V steel. It's just really, really excellent. And there's a lot of other things we can go into on the knife, but you know, the only bad thing I can think of on this is the price. It's about 120 bucks. A little expensive for some people, but definitely worth it. Super high quality, excellent build quality, and you get the Spyderco lifetime warranty with it, which is excellent. They will even sharpen your knife if you send it back to Spyderco. They'll sharpen it for you. You know, just really great service out of the shop in Colorado there. And overall, just probably my favorite knife of all time. It's just really one of the most popular, and for good reason. So that's the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Thanks for watching.